Alright everybody, welcome to this member style video. I was planning on this one to be a little bit more elaborate and semi-edited and stuff like that, but I just couldn't get the recording to go through. It never worked out good. So now I'm just gonna have this rambly video about it, and maybe another time I'm actually gonna put together a worthwhile video. But this is an exclusive content, so still there is some value to it. Anyways, as you see from the title of this video, today I'm going to talk about what I call the emergency paradox with DSP, which in a pretty simple way would be that having emergencies happen to him help him a lot because people show up and give him a lot of money, but they also hurt him a lot because when there are no emergencies, his content is boring as shit and he barely makes any money. And this is a cycle that doesn't look like it's ever going to end, because he's already brainwashed people into it. But let's get it from the start, right? Now, DSP is very well known for going through emergencies constantly, getting kicked out of partnerships, having bills to pay, taxes to pay, and other copyright-related nonsense, and so on. That's his brand. That's what people show up to watch. Him begging, him humiliating himself, him crying about some stuff that happened to him in the past, that will happen to him in the future, or might not even happen to him in the future. He just wants to catastrophize this situation and make it seem as dark and gloomy as possible, right? Now he does that. He puts his begging video, begging segment, whatever it is. He makes it, he begs. Somebody shows and saves the day. They give him $100, $200, doesn't matter. They show up and they save the day. Now what happens to these people is they kind of get conditioned to show up only when this happens, when there's an emergency and the day has to be saved. Because no superhero is going to be fighting crime when there's no crime to fight. So when DSP is having a boring ass stream playing Skyrim and nothing bad has happened to him recently and he has nothing to beg about, that's why he ends the stream at like $20. Because people don't show up to save the day, because there's nothing to save. Now, what this does to DSP is he needs to keep the cycle of emergencies going. He just needs to, because that's his biggest source of revenue. It's when bad shit goes down, he makes bank. Now, what he does is with these new videos, the new begging videos, remember those? If you're watching this and you enjoy my content, please watch this video. And then he just begs about low tips, or being demonetized, or some nonsense like this, right? You know the drill. Well, that's kind of not really that much of a new thing, but it's his new way of filling up the segments when there is no drama and nothing really bad has happened to him. And he can't really make himself to be a victim, so he's gonna make this victim video to either be overly thankful or just explicitly just ask you for support and tips and super chats and super thanks and stuff like that. Now, of course, after those videos, like I said, the pay pig shows up, they save the day, and everything goes on as normal. But the normal for DSP is emergency. So if there's no emergency, those people don't show up. And at some point, even the trolls stop showing up, and they don't care about stuff when there's no emergency. So who is DSP gonna get his marketing from? Who's gonna promote DSP? If you've noticed, and if maybe you watch DSP in a casual capacity, and you're watching a restreamer, let's say Shinko or Piece of Peace or whoever, and he's gone for like a couple of days, you kind of start missing out on stuff. You kind of don't know what happened, really. And this is because there is no drama, because there's nothing happening. And he's kind of boring. So when there's nothing really bad happening to him, when there's no emergency, and things sound as if he should be perfectly fine, and he's not a victim to anything, and he should live a happy and successful life, he makes way less money. So the emergency paradox is thus: when DSP gets the most money, there's usually an emergency happening. Some emergency state of any kind. Like I mentioned earlier, it could be copyright, it could be bills, it could be taxes, it could be whatever. It could straight up be a lie, and we wouldn't know sometimes. And when there's no emergency and everything is supposed to be okay, he doesn't make the money. So we're stuck in this cursed cycle, in this weird paradox of doing well financially when he's miserable. So he is encouraged to have more segments of time, more time dedicated to being miserable and having emergencies and bitching about tips and making dedicated begging videos. So this is basically the DSP paradox, that he's a guy who lives on drama, who lives on emergency, and outside of that he is nothing, and even his hardcore fans know it, and that's why they don't support him. And when they don't support him, he makes a dedicated begging video, and then they show up, and then they stop, and then he makes a video, and then they show up. And it's an endless cycle. And we're here for the ride. So big ups for listening to this, and see you around in the next exclusive video. Bye!